So how are you feeling after the other day? How's everyone feeling?
Well, it doesn't go away quickly when you lose a game like that. It's heartbreaking really. But you have to move on, and we they come thick and fast now. The games, the fixtures aren't really, with other clubs having 2 extra days all the time. QPR tomorrow have had 2 extra days. Millwall will have 2 extra days. So it's a bit tough on us at the moment. But as I said to the lads, we've just got to stick at it now. We haven't got time to mope about. We're disappointed. They all know. When we had a chat about it yesterday, what should happen, and they should be able to do things off their own back, really, in that situation so late on. But it's happened now. We've got to move on.
Do you think the players are fully aware of the predicament, or have you had to lay it on the line to them these last few days?
Sorry, I don't. Are they aware?
Are they fully aware of the predicament that the club are in, or have you had to spell it out to them these last few days since you arrived?
Oh no, I think even before I arrived, they knew that they were in a battle, and I don't think anything's going to change. I think it's going to go right down to the death this year. We don't score enough goals, but the other day I would have been quite happy if we'd have scored 1 goal, and I thought both goals were preventable, if I'm honest. And it's all right saying the referee gives silly, easy free kicks, but we've got to defend them better than what we did.
Have you seen enough in those opening couple of matches that you will be able to survive this?
Well, I just think the lads are responding. They're working out. That's all they can do. I can't. I've no magic wand as such. I just want them to be organised, try and give ourselves as much opportunity as we can to pick up points and scramble over the line, because that's what it looks like it's going to be for everybody down there.
You said just a moment ago about the lack of preparation time. Is that doubly difficult for you, given the fact that it seems that you're low in numbers with the lads not extending their contracts, and obviously the injuries that you've got as well?
Yeah, I mean, it is strange for me. I think I said about lack of defenders, etc. And then I read the paper that they put a list of about 20. I didn't realise it, but I didn't mean, I just meant defensive players. I think we've got quite a lot of attacking defenders, but there's times where you've got to defend for your lives, really. So, I'm looking at what I can do. I can what there is in the squad, how I can just make up the odd change here and there, and see if I can lift the squad and be a little bit more tighter here and there, and so that's what it's all about, really. Because I haven't seen some of the players play only on video, but you haven't got time, so you've got to make some decisions at times to have a look at what you can change.
I would guess that when you take over at clubs, you would normally try and do something a little bit different, think outside the box to try and change things, maybe even away from football. I don't know, whatever managers do in terms of man management. You're almost at a situation where it's difficult to do that because the games are so thick and fast at the moment.
Yeah, you can't do anything like that now. It's we're in a situation where 3 weeks' time we'll know where we are, and all I've stressed from day one, and it's probably as difficult a job as I've had this, really. I mean, even at Rotherham, when I went in at Rotherham, we had a group of 5 or 6 what I call defenders, and we were able to build from that. I think it's a different. We've got quite a lot of midfield players here, good midfield players as well. A shortage of, I know we've got a couple of strikers, but I think there's shortage in that area. We've got good wide players. We have no backup regarding fullbacks, the situation of fullbacks, and limited at centre half. So it's a difficult decision. We've got to fight. I know what it's going to be. It's going to be a fight for his life. We've got to scrap and try and get those points now to get over the line.
Just finally from me, how difficult is that for you then individually as you are as a manager, that you've come in, and I suppose that the hardest part is trying to build the defence, because it sounds like that's where you're weakest, and that's obviously normally where you would build your teams from.
Yeah, it is difficult. I didn't realise probably the numbers situation. The squad's got decent numbers, it's just slightly misappropriated, I think, really. With a number of fit defenders in relation to midfield, strikers, wide lads. So it's been really on the coaching on the training ground, really. I know it sounds silly, but we're trying to train probably players who are not as defensive minded as they probably should be. The sort of the little elements of defending, etc., are what we need to do. It has been strange, but you've got to do that. You've got to show them what you want, really, because they're a good group of lads, and they'll do what we want and what we say. So it's been a little bit of educating them, really.
Okay, cheers, Neil.
Thank you.
Neil, can I just ask? Sorry, it's Chris from Tyne Tees here. Obviously, the players must have been so disappointed to lose the game at Hull the other day. How was the mood after that, and in the days that have passed since?
Well, the next day, I showed them all the clips of the attacking play that we had, and I mean, it's ridiculous that we had, probably 25 aspects of good quality football going into the box. And then the one element of how we chucked a point away at the death, which was really comedy bandbox, really. I mean, it was schoolboy defending, and they know, and it wasn't for lack of trying. Like two lads going up for the ball, had the same ball, Wingy and I would have had a go if they hadn't wanted to win the ball. But the point is, they had to have a little bit of thought about the men that were behind them, etc. So it's something that they were really disappointed, the lads, but they know they played well. I think they played. They said they enjoyed it, etc. So we've just got to. We haven't got time to dwell on it. We showed them that, and then we went on to QPR straight away because QPR have got a lot more threat regarding going forwards, and I think with them being safe, I think they can play with a freedom. I think when I was at Cardiff, I think they had 60% possession at Cardiff when we played them. So we're gonna not have the ball for a lot of the time, and with the freedom that they've got, but we've got to be clued in, and then we've got to cause them problems.
Is it almost too early to say that the QPR game is now must win?
Oh no, I don't think any of them in the next 3 or 4 games. It's getting as many points as we can. We've got to try and win a game, but if we can't win a game, we've got to come away with something, and then we've got to move on. I think they're all winnable, like they're all they're all losable. But I look at other people's fixtures as well, and I don't think there's any easy right. You'd probably look at Luton's and say that Luton's got the best running. Do you know what I mean? But who's to say? I mean, there's certain teams in the league I wish we were playing. Unfortunately, we're not. Who I think have finished now this season. But I won't go into detail in naming them.
I was just going to say there, I know you talk about the fact that you think Luton have arguably got a bit of an easier run in. Does the fact that all the stadiums are empty make it a bit more of a leveller? Those fixtures that you'd think, oh, bloody hell, I don't fancy going there. You now think, well, actually, there's not 20,000 fans on my case.
Well, definitely. I think I don't think you have too much advantage now. Like the crowds do influence officials without a shadow of a doubt. But the crowd. There was no crowd at Hull, and the official didn't need any home crowd to make some weird decisions. I think he made him off his own back. Really, I think if you breathe heavy on somebody, you're going to get a foul. I mean, when I've looked at the free kicks, I mean they were scandalous, really. And people like Hugill, you've seen Hugill. He'll go down easily as well. So we've got to be careful. We can't be giving silly free. We've got to avoid giving silly free kicks. It's all right saying I didn't touch him, but we've got to not be in a situation where the referee has a choice.
No, it's interesting you mentioned Jordan Hugill there, because I was going to ask you about him. Obviously, he's someone that the Boro squad know fairly well because he was on loan at Boro last season under Tony Pulis, and he's a North East lad through and through.
Well, I mean, he works his socks off, and he always has done since his Preston days. Didn't work out for him at West Ham and such, but I think they're quite happy with him at QPR. Ez is playing off him, and I think he will go for massive money in the summer. I was talking to Les Ferdinand in a period when I wasn't working, and Les was saying he expects some massive offers for him. I think we're talking 15, 20 million for him. So we've got a job on our hands there. They've got the lad Samuel, who's very exciting as well. So they've got good forward players, and we'll have to be on our toes.
Last question from me. It's a bit of a weird one, but in all of this, given the pressurized situation that you're in, are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I am. I've always wanted to help to come up here, really. Since we play, I remember Stuart Ripley. He was one of my favourites, and as a manager, I used to hate playing against him. And I remember the playoff semi-finals up here. So it's a great place to have. It's a football. I'm disappointed that there's no crowd, because I do like to involve myself with the crowd. I like going round to clubs and working men's and mixing with them, talking to them, and seeing what the passion is like, and because I know what it's like up here. But my sister's not far away, and quite a lot of her regulars in that area, are really the mad Middlesbrough fans. So she's getting quite a lot of good mail. So we've got to do a job for that, because otherwise she's going to get pelted, I think, my sister.
Just one thing that's just made me think there as you were saying that. Obviously, you talked about in the past year good relations with Steve Gibson. Has he been in touch since you started the job, and what's he made of how things have gone so far?
Oh yeah, I mean we talk on a regular basis. I had a good long meeting with him yesterday. I mean, it's ironic we've not even spoke about wages, etc. It's not important. I think the most important thing is getting here and looking at everybody and trying to give them help, and that's what I've done. And Steve knows what I think about how difficult a job it is, and so he's like me. He's hoping that we can get enough points, because you've got to scrap to stay in this league, because it's not easy to get out the next league. It's there's a lot of big clubs down there, and it's not straightforward. And when you look at the facilities around here, it doesn't bear thinking about, really.